Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a motorcycle racing TV show, Team Chicago Challenge, with the EAA AirVenture, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, 2024. My email is teamdan45@gmail.com. I love to hear from my audience. So today we're going to look around at the EAA AirVenture. Got over by the Boeing Plaza, and how many people have heard of Rutan? He's the guy that created all these really unique aircraft. I had the opportunity to talk to someone who was part of their group, and he's going to introduce me to a few of the owners of this really unique, great aircraft. We had some great little comments, look at some great aircraft, plus we got all the military aircraft. We're going to have a great time, and I hope you enjoy the show from EAA AirVenture. We're going to head on in, see what's going on for 2024. And don't forget my email, teamdan45@gmail.com. I have stated that the EAA AirVenture is a huge event. Over 10,000 private aircraft flew up to Whitman Field and other local airports. At Whitman Field, there was over 15,000 campsites with 40,000 campers, people that either flew in or drove up. And I was part of the 836 media representatives from around the world to cover this event. NASA, National Aeronautic and Space Administration, is actively recruiting at the EAA AirVenture. And some of the universities that put on displays include University of Wisconsin, University of South Dakota, Dubuque, Southern Illinois, Emory-Riddle, Spartan College, St. Louis University, Purdue, Lewis College, Oklahoma State, Liberty University. These schools offer courses in aeronautic engineering, design, and flight. Next, I'm going to head over to the WarBird Plaza and look at a couple of the aircraft on display. This is Monday, the first day of EAA AirVenture, and I spot a Bell UH-1 Iroquois, also known as the Huey. This was the first turbine-powered helicopter used by the United States Army, and I had a chance to talk to the owner pilot, Barry Hammarback.
Hi Dan, I'm Barry Hammarback. I'm lucky enough to own half of this Huey that I'm sitting in front of. Interesting Huey, it's probably the oldest one flying. Today it's a 1962 Bureau number. It actually flew in Vietnam in 1966 and 1967 up in Hue, I Corps in Vietnam. We've substantially rebuilt the helicopter. We've been flying it to air shows like this for about the last 9 years. A couple of years ago, it won the best helicopter at Oshkosh here. Had good experience. I fly it with my partner Dave Schmitt, who's out of Spooner, Wisconsin. And together we put about 800 hours on the helicopter since we got it originally rebuilt and got here. But we spend most of our time just doing salutes for veterans as much as possible, and we show up at a lot of moving wall events. We're here on the square right now with Vietnam helicopters, or aircraft of that era. And that's about the story for this bird. It's a great bird, flies great. We flew it in here yesterday, had a great approach. It's fun when you can fly in and the tower says, just fly to the tower, turn left and land at your discretion. It's one of the big benefits of flying a helicopter.
Right. Okay, was this originally a gunship when it was over there?
No, this was originally a slick. There are three kinds of helicopters that were Hueys there. There were slicks, they hauled troops, and they hauled equipment, gear, food, ammo, things like that. There were medevacs that just hauled wounded in and out, and then there were gunships, and the gunships were typically B models or so, and they had all sorts of machine guns on them, rockets. These just had 308s for suppressive fire when they were dropping shoots in, so they had two M60 machine guns on them.
So this did have the machine guns, but it wasn't used as a gunship.
No, it was used as a suppressive fire, so they'd bring troops in, and they'd just start shooting as they came into an LZ to keep everybody's head down.
Right. So these original guns, or do you have to find the guns?
No, these are replicas. Of course,
Right.
fully automatic weapons, you have to have a whole lot of paperwork from ATF. In some states you can't have them, and some you can. So we just use replicas. All of the surplus equipment, the gun belts, and or even the butterfly trigger handles, that's actually original equipment.
Okay, so you restored this original. So what kind of shape was it in when you got it?
When we got it, it was actually in excellent shape. Mechanically, all the times were good, and the rotating times are the important part in the helicopter. They're all life limited. You can only use them so long, then you got to throw them away. And all of the times were excellent. It didn't have a very good panel for going across country, so we put all the new electronics
New
in
electronics, right,
so
right.
that we can get from places. And we use them. The weather was bad yesterday, so we did a lot of flying instrument-wise.
So you get to fly this.
I do. It's just the greatest thing ever.
You're a lucky man.
Yeah, I am. I'm sitting here. I had to pinch myself this morning because here I am sitting in a Huey at Oshkosh. Can't possibly get better than
No,
this.
it can get better than that, yes.
No.
Thank you, Barry. Also on WarBird Plaza, I spot a Republic P-47 Thunderbolt. You see a couple folks inspecting this aircraft. Over 15,636 of these were built, and I had a chance to talk to Mark Adams.
My name is Mark Adams. This is a P-47D-23RA Thunderbolt. It's a Razorback P-47. The original wreckage of this aircraft was found in Papua New Guinea with the serial number of 27609, and now it's painted up as Bill Dunham's Bonnie. And it's the second time it's been at Oshkosh. We love having it here.
So where are you guys out of?
We're out of Bemidji, Minnesota, but the aircraft lives in the Dakota Territories Air Museum in Minot, North Dakota.
And where?
Minot, North Dakota.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you get to fly it, or are you just the ground guy? Or?
Oh, so I'm the continuous improvement coordinator over at the Air Corps, and my job is to assist the restoration team in improving our efficiency, making what we do go faster
Okay.
and better.
Tell me about the engine.
Oh, I'm probably not the guy to talk about it too much. It's an R2800, I can tell you that.
So it's a double stack, though?
Yeah, if you can see, it's got the two of the 9 cylinders.
2 9s?
Yeah,
So 18 cylinder.
yeah.
So same engine that would be in the Corsair?
I believe so, and it was
believe
super
so.
common during the war.
Right.
R2800 was.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, the Pratt Whitney R2800 double WAS engine, 18 cylinder, was used in the Corsair and the Thunderbolt and a good number of other aircraft. Total 125,334 were built. And now we're on the Boeing Plaza, and we are seeing aircraft that designed by Burt Rutan. Burt designed his first aircraft when he was still a student at Cal Poly. This is the VariViggen, built with plywood and composites. This was the first aircraft that he built, and that led to many designs. And I had the opportunity to talk to the owner of this aircraft, George Choquette, and he's going to tell us about his organization, and we're going to walk around and see some more of these aircraft.
Okay, hi, my name is George Choquette from the Rutan Aircraft Flying Experience, and we keep the dream of Burt Rutan alive, keeping his airplanes flying, restoring airplanes that haven't flown in a while, and we're a flying organization. Maintenance and flying, but we try to do flying. This first airplane here is called a VariViggen, and that was the first airplane that Burt Rutan designed back in the early 70s. I believe the first flight might have been in 72 or something like that. So that's basically over 50 years old, and it's a pretty famous airplane. That was the first home build to have a canard setup, which prevents stalling.
Smaller wing in the front,
Correct.
bigger wing in the
Correct.
back.
So the main wing doesn't stall.
Right, right.
If you fly too slow, you're about to stall. The front goes down, The airplane speeds up automatically, it comes right back up.
Correct, okay.
So that's what that is. And then we can go on to the other airplanes if you like. Okay? So an interesting one here is the Quickie, and Rutan wanted to have a very low-cost engine airplane. This is a generator engine, it's a known-and generator, 22 horsepower. And this airplane, this particular airplane right here, has flown, you might want to, has flown from Illinois yesterday to here. Yes.
Okay. So these private people all over.
Oh, yeah. There are people that have built it. Yeah.
And these are all kit planes.
It's not a kit. No, you buy the raw materials. You get rolls of fiberglass, gallons of epoxy, little brackets here and there, but it's not a kit. It's a plans-built airplane.
Right.
And that's very different than a kit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is called the Defiant, and there's the owner here, owner-builder. And he's flown all the way up to Australia and all kinds of places with this.
So he's going over.
Let's ask him. He'll tell you all about it.
So how many miles have you flown this?
Well, I don't know how many miles. They're about 1,300 hours.
1,300 hours.
In 19 years.
That's great. Okay.
So, all right, we can go look at the Long Easy there.
Well, this is probably the most identified one, correct?
That's right. That's probably the most popular. It's called the Long Easy. And
it's 2-passenger.
Dave, he's doing a little interview with us. Do you want to talk a little bit about your airplane?
Well, this isn't my airplane, but I did build one.
Okay, that's
so
fine.
I can talk a little bit about it.
But you did build one of these?
I did.
Yeah, so it's just an easy plane to fly?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, the takeoff and landing speeds are faster than a Cessna or a Piper. With a passenger, you're going to want to be seeing 90 miles an hour or so over the runway to make a good landing. So a little bit faster. There are a little bit of runway hogs because they're designed for speed. So, with a 100 horsepower engine, I'm going 150, 160 knots, which is, pretty good efficiency.
Great.
And 3-4 gallons an hour, 4 or 5 gallons an hour. So that's what they're for.
Great.
Just get up in the air and go.
Get up and go. Okay.
So there's another interesting airplane, and the owner is right there. It's called the Solitaire. And this is a self-launching glider, and it's a glider that has a motor in it. So the motor pops out, and then you can fly. So there's the motor in there. We can't pop it out right now, but the motor's inside the glider.
So now you can use the motor to take off.
Yeah, that's right. You don't need to be towed. It's a self-towing airplane. Yeah, right.
And this is also. I'll come back and talk to him.
Okay. Harold, he's doing a little.
I'll be back to talk to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Well, we can do it right now.
Okay.
Tell us about your Solitaire.
Sure.
Yeah, tell me about it.
All right. This is a Solitaire built in 1990 by a fellow named Herb Abrams. He bought the plans about 82, 83 along with the kit. He started working on it and spent the next 7 years building it. In 1990, he brought it here to Oshkosh and received an award for the engine retraction mechanism as well as an award for craftsmanship.
So how often do you get to fly this?
This, not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
But it flies well?
It does fly well.
That's great. Okay.
More over there. There's another Long Easy. Go look at that. So, I don't know if the owner's back there. I think he is. But this one here is pretty famous because it's beat a lot of world records. So that's the owner right here. So it's got the world altitude record.
Oh, really?
No. Let me get him in. Here about your airplane.
I'm just going to let you go to the interview. Good to see you, Jim.
Yeah. Be well. See you at Canab, hope.
Yeah, roger that.
Okay, man.
So do you need oxygen to go up that high?
Yes, you actually have to be on pressure oxygen.
Okay.
So you're pressure breathing, and the reason is at 35,000 feet, if you take 100% oxygen in your lungs, it doesn't even go into your bloodstream.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So there's a number of critical elements, and I was fortunate enough to get the colonel in charge of the physiology department to train me. So I knew what to do, and he basically ran me through the same thing that the U-2 and the SR-71 pilots go through.
Great,
So
great.
I was very fortunate. I got some real experts to help me with ideas. To include, I had the University of Michigan Aerospace Engineering. I did a business proposal on what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. And next thing I knew, I had 5 professors and 35 students working on my program, and they gave me unlimited wind tunnel time.
Okay, so the engine, what engine is?
It's a standard Lycoming 160 horsepower that has dual electronic ignition, which brings up the horsepower a little bit. In addition,
It's supercharged?
no, it's normally aspirated
really? Okay.
with a standard Marvel carburetor.
Okay. And you got to that altitude?
I got to 35,027 feet with 62 degrees below zero. I took a lot of weight off the plane. I took about 57 pounds off of the airplane, and so it only flew by turn coordinator and airspeed because the canopy was entirely frosted because of being so cold.
Right,
and as I breathed, all that exhausted air would go out and freeze the canopy.
I have a little question. I remember way back reading the Canard Pushers, and this is basically the newsletter we had, and I remember reading about you. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was you or someone else, I think it was you, but the way you lost weight was to eat popcorn only for like a couple of months or something. Was that you?
No. I didn't eat popcorn,
do you remember that story?
I took some weight off. I do not remember that
There's
story,
another guy that
but I definitely
went up
lost some
to
weight for it.
very, very high, and he ate nothing but popcorn. I thought it was you.
Not me. But
Okay.
got it all set?
One more.
thank you.
Okay. I'll be back to his name. All right.
And this is another amazing airplane called the Catbird. That's also a Burt Rutan design. It would have been intended to replace the Bonanza. Now, if we go on the other side, by the way, it's a 3-surface airplane. There's a canard in the front, main wing, and a stabilizer. That's probably the most efficient configuration for efficiency, flight efficiency. And if you look here, it has 3 world records. There were the speed record and the economy records. But those are the speed record. It also won the Cafe 400 speed efficiency awards. Very, very efficient airplane.
So I was at one EAA, I can't remember what year, but that was the year they did Around the World.
Yes.
And they flew overhead.
1986.
So it's 86.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I ever came to EAA.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
So it was 86. I remember seeing it up above.
Yeah.
And then they did Around the World trip.
Right. Very good.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
very much.
Yeah, have a good day.
Thank you, George. As we look around Boeing Plaza, we see the Boeing-built B-29 that succeeded the B-17, which was called the Flying Fortress. The B-29 was called the Super Fortress. It first flew September 21st, 1942. This is the airplane that dropped the 2 atom bombs on Japan, but that action saved 1 million soldiers and civilians if the U.S. would have had to invade Japan. And now we're looking at the Stratus Fortress. It's a B-52. The B-52s first flew April 15th, 1952, so they're just a little bit younger than me. And here the Air Force is calling for contestants for a push-up contest. As we look at the Super Fortress, it can fly at 50,000 feet at subsonic speeds. And now we're looking at the Globemaster 3 C-17. This aircraft first flew September 15th, 1991. It is a jet transport aircraft. And now we're going to watch the push-up contest conducted by the United States Air Force.
One, two, three. That's it. Last person standing with the backpack. All right, everybody get down on the ground. Let's go,
as I spot this gal with the nice tan, I learned later that her name was Aspen, and I'm putting my money on her. She looks like she's in better shape than anybody in this contest. I didn't get the name of the winner, and Aspen did 40 push-ups. That's twice as many as I could do. And now we're looking at the General Dynamic F-16 Fighting Falcon. It's a single-engine supersonic fighter. On the other side of Boeing Plaza, I spot the McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle, which is a twin-engine, all-weather fighting aircraft. The third aircraft we're going to look at is the 5th generation fighter. This could either be the F-22 Rapture or the F-35 Lightning II. Both the F-22 and the F-35 are America's stealth fighter jets. And now we're going to see a little bit of the air show. And now we're looking at Matt Younkin. And he's in his Beech 18. He's a 3rd generation pilot. His father was Bobby, his grandfather was Jim. Jim was known for designing Sentry and Turngut autopilots. Matt learned to fly when he was 14. This twin engine Beech is a wonderful aircraft. And his latest engraved achievement is perfecting the world's only night aerobatic display in a Beech 18, equipped with 17 spotlights and 13 strobes. This aircraft puts on a great show at night. Great aerobatic display in this twin engine vintage aircraft. For more information on the Experimental Aircraft Association, it's EAA.org or AirVenture.org. And make plans to join us in 2025, July 21st through 27th. I had a great time this year. The contact me, and I love to hear from my audience. It's teamdan45@gmail.com. Remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action, Dan Schmitt Politics, to learn what makes America great. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum. They're in Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana Highway 39. But give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip and a great collection of motorcycles. And stop by Rich's Yamaha and pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package. Rich's Yamaha is in Lockport, Illinois. Give them a call first at 815-838-8130. Their website is richesyamaha.com. Pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package. Walneck Swap Meet. If you want to learn more about motorcycles, the best place to learn is at a motorcycle swap meet. Here's a list of swap meets Buzz got coming up. It's walneckswap.com. You got the Springfield Short Track coming up August 29th. I'm going to try to make it. What a great day in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.